Okay.
So this is our team call for July 3rd. This is my favorite day of the year, by the way. It's so random, but it's been my favorite day for years. I don't know, it's just, I didn't do anything special. I didn't leave my house till 2 and then I went to Target. But it's a great day to have a team call. And I'm really, really excited because we have some awesome things to share. We're going to get into a little summit recap. We're going to go over like success partners. We're going to go over a lot. I just have to get my notes up and then I can tell you more about it. Would someone mind posting on the team call and just giving people the heads up that we are live, because I realized I didn't schedule one for today in the event section until like, 7 o'clock this morning. And apparently the webcam is messed up. Oh, Tracy, we see your name though, so we're glad you're here. Tracy with an I, different Tracy. Okay, so I'm going to let Morgan, I know you have to go to your class. Morgan's going to share, Louise is going to share, Susan's going to share at the end, Tracy's going to share. They're going to share what they learned at Summit, which is our annual conference. And they're going to give you guys one takeaway. So if you have pen and paper, go ahead, grab that now if you don't. And we're just going to get right into it, you guys, because Summit is freaking amazing, and I lived vicariously through them. I stalked every site everywhere. It's the first one I've ever missed. But it's pretty amazing. So I'm going to have, let's see, Morgan, Louise, and then Tracy share, and then Susan said she wanted to share at the end when she pops on. So Morgan, are you good now?
Yeah, I had to go run Trinity. It's being annoying, like hitting me with chalk and.
Okay, so let's hear it. Your biggest, I know there's a million takeaways. Your biggest, like most life-changing takeaway from Summit and one call to action for us.
Okay, I'm gonna try and get this in like 2 minutes. Okay. She was also on the new coach. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Okay. She was also on the new coach wake up call this past week. So if you have not listened to it, you guys listen to it. It's a game changer. Her name is Michelle Myers. And when we were listening to her, it was like Jesus was on the pulpit. I was like, amen, hallelujah, yes, like, can we be best friends? And we saw her walking, and I just wanted to hug her. Anyway, she said something that was such a game changer for me, and I hope it just like hits you guys like a pile of bricks like it hit me. It was stop embracing coaching as an opportunity and more as a responsibility. Like, oh, game changer, right? And obviously, it's an amazing opportunity, you guys. We are so blessed to be able to work from home, change people's lives, but we have to look at it as more of a responsibility, because responsibility is more optional. It's like about you and what like you want. It's kind of selfish, which like you kind of have to be in this, but it's more selfish. Responsibility is more giving to other people and what we have. And opportunity is reactive. Responsibility is proactive. So that is like my little spiel. It's kind of a takeaway. It's just 4 things for you to write down. I'll write it down too in the comments on the team call, but it's just 4 questions to ask yourself if you're being proactive. And it's just for how many questions. So 1 is how many people will you find that you relate to? 2, how many people will you invite to your next group? Our next group starts on the 9th, so be inviting like crazy. 3 is how many people will you invite to join your team? And you guys, I was overcomplicating like inviting to coaching. It's just a simple question. Like, have you ever considered doing what I'm doing? Super simple. And it can lead either into like coaching or to maybe like joining the challenge group to see how coaching works. And then number 4 is how many coaches and clients will you invest in? Sorry about that. Everybody's okay here. But yeah, that was my huge takeaway. Oh, and then the one last thing, sorry. I don't know, sometimes I get into the mindset, like when my clients buy something, like I think that's when like the relationship ends. But that's truly, guys, where it begins, where you really have to invest in that time. So that's my takeaway.
I love that. And those are 4 really, really simple questions that I had to personally ask myself yesterday. Because I've been tired, straight out, these kids are crazy. They're in every corner of my life right now. I'm like, I can't even get like 2 seconds to myself to sign people up. And so I worked last night from 2 in the morning until 3 a.m. 2 to 3 because I woke up, checked my phone. I was like, screw it, I'm up, I'm going to work. And Brian's like, why are you so tired today? Like, I worked in the middle of the night. Like, sounds so weird. But I'm just doing it in the mom cracks right now. And the reason, what pushed me was you all came back from Summit fired up and literally asking, you guys had kind of been asking those questions, you know, in our level up thread or in the new coach thread or on the team page. And it really was, it's like, how many people can I find that I relate to? A ton. Okay, just off the top of my head, pregnant moms. There's like 4 million people pregnant in this world at any given time. I made that up, but it was 4 something. Could have been 400,000. But I was thinking of it the other day. I'm like, there's a lot of pregnant people, and I can relate to them. Whether they like me or not, I can still relate to them because we're growing a human. Number 2, how many people will you invite to your next group? Perfect opportunity. We have our next group. It is Live For Prep Week, starts on Monday. You can sign people up all the way until we actually start on July 16th. They just need to be able to access the program. Like, they can get their products later. So you guys have 2 full weeks to get as many people in there as possible. And then how many people will you invite to join your team? Simple. Morgan, she reached out today. She's like, oh, I have this person. That would be awesome. What do I say to her? And it's like, you know, it was just that, like, just say, can I put you in my coach sneak peek? I want you to check out the videos. I think you'd be awesome at coaching. She's like, oh my gosh. And I was like, I know. She's like, it's so simple. It's ridiculous. We overcomplicate things all the time, like all the time. And then how many coaches and clients will you invest in? And that's one of the best. Will you invest in? The relationship truly starts when that person makes that purchase. It's not like, oh yes, I mean, yeah, you're talking to them, you're building that relationship of trust before. But if you want them, all right, I'm gonna mute everybody because it's okay. Perfect. If I muted everyone. If you need to talk, just unmute. But there's too many echoes. And then you really have to think, okay, this person trusted me to help them on their journey. I have to show up. That means showing up in the challenge groups, you guys. That means liking and loving on people's posts. I go in there for 5 minutes a day and just read through. And I love seeing my client stuff. When I post, guess what? They're going to post. When they post, I want to comment on it. And I might not do it on the weekends because that's my time off. But you better believe that as long as I'm not falling on my face because I'm exhausted from the end of my pregnancy, I am going in that group and I am making sure those clients and those coaches know that I am there for them. And I don't care if you guys have one person in that group, you should be doing the same thing because it's a team group, but it's our group. Just look at it as it's my responsibility to take care of my clients. It's not Louise's, it's not Danielle's, it's not Morgan's, nobody else's. And I want to love on your guys' clients as well. So I love, love, love that. Thank you, Morgan. And you know me, I have to expand on tangents. And if you have to hop off whenever you do. But thank you, that was awesome.
No, you're good. And really, I just wanted to add really fast. So you guys, when you guys are looking at those numbers and you're not hitting your goals, then you know whether to increase or you guys can kind of stay consistently with those goals. That's why those questions are so crucial. And I don't have to hop off. I'm going to stay on for this one, but I am going to go to work in a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, and that's exactly it. If you guys have a big goal of helping 10 people get started this month, but you're only inviting 10 people, it's not going to happen. Like, I just had 50 people fill out my health questionnaire between last night and today. And they're all super excited. They reached out to me. They commented on my stuff. 5. I'm aiming for 10, but maybe 5 will sign up. It's a numbers thing. And then they'll reach out the next time. And in maybe 90 days or 6 months or 2 years, they'll end up joining. But they're watching, and that this is our thing. This is our job. Awesome. And then I said, so Morgan, check. Louise, are you good to go? I can never unmute you. Okay.
I'm unmuted.
Perfect.
All right. Sorry, I'm just like so hot. It is so crazy hot here right now and humid. But anyway, so my takeaway is kind of like boring compared to Morgan's, but it's so important because like what I realized is like we heard from all of the top coaches, and the thing that the thing about Summit was believe in yourself, and what they were all talking about is they are no different to us. They have just been in it for longer. They have invested more, like more time, more energy, and they do the vital behaviors all the time, so consistently. Whatever is going on in their life, they make sure they get the vital behaviors done. Like they're like us. They have bad days, and they struggle, but their bare minimum is the vital behaviors. And I can say that I am fully admitting here, confessing that I didn't really do the vital behaviors for the last month. I was in a horrible headspace, and it's all well and good to say like do the vital behaviors, but if your head isn't there, it is impossible. And I told this to Jack, like I just couldn't do it. It's not like I didn't have the time. I just couldn't bring myself to. And I feel like going to Summit was like the perfect time for me, because it was like I don't know, therapy and PG on steroids for 4 days. It was the perfect time. And I came back and came back invigorated and revitalized in life, not just in coaching, but in life. It was so perfect. But what I realized is that this business is so simple. We way overcomplicate it, myself included. And we just need to really share our story and reach out to people, invite them to coaching or a challenge group or a free group, or just like start talking to people. And Jack, you were saying about how people can be added to Lift for up until the 16th, but I think they can be added after that as well. Because when I first started coaching, I used to get in such like a tizzy about when to invite and what to invite to, and basically I just invite to all of the things all of the time, and I'll fit people in wherever I can, because it's really about the person and what they need from me, not what I have right now and what I can offer them, because I should be able to offer them the coaching opportunity and a challenge group and a free group all of the time, which is why I run with some lovely ladies a free group twice a month, because it's really important to me. But anyway, basically my takeaway is to do the vital behaviors, and that's it. And that's what I've done this week. And I said this earlier, I'm all about time blocking and making sure that I, have my time to work and have my time with my kids. But my kids are on summer vacation, and that I have to be flexible. So I am fitting my inviting into the mum cracks. And the way that I'm doing that is I have so many lists of people who have been commenting on my posts, who have liked my posts, who have been viewing my stories, who have been taking the polls, and I'm just going through those lists and inviting those people. And because I have the lists in my notebook, I can just plug in 10 invites here and there throughout the day. So this week and last week, I've invited 20 people a day, which I don't think I've invited 20 people a day in a long time. And it's so easy. Like, I've been reminded how easy inviting is. It's the next part that's actually more challenging, where you get into the conversation and you start talking about the objections and stuff. But I am going to reread GoPro. So I really recommend that book to anybody who wants to focus on how to deal with objections, because it's such a good book for that. But anyway, my call to action for everybody is to do the vital behaviors every single day for the next month, and to actually write it down as well, to track it. So I have redone my own bat, and because I don't love the bat, sorry to say that, I find it overwhelming to me, and I don't find it something that I'm drawn to. So I've redone it in a notebook, and the only things that I'm tracking are inviting, following up, PD, whether I've done a vulnerable post, and whether I've recognized somebody that day. And then I just check it off. I say how many people I've invited and followed up with. I take a picture and send it to Morgan at the end of every day, because that's real life, real time accountability. And I'm just going to commit to that. And I cannot go to bed until I've done my 20 invites. And honestly, the invites probably take me half an hour. 20 invites probably take me half an hour. And yes, I'm staying in my lane. I am just like doing my thing, putting my head down. And I've had some amazing conversations this week and last week, just by like reaching out to people and having those conversations and inviting them to people. And I have actually not had very many people say no. I've had a lot of people not reply, but that's okay, because you know what? I have had people invite me to like essential oils and things like that, and I just wasn't ready. It wasn't that I hated them or that like I judged them in any way. I just wasn't ready. But when I was ready, I went back to that person. So I'm going to stop, because I really could go on for a long time. But basically my call to action is do your vital behaviors every single day for the next month no matter what is going on in your life.
I love that. And I added, I'm over here typing like a crazy person because that's how I like retain information, is if I write it down. So I'm putting all of the notes that they're saying in the thread section over here, but I want you guys to take your own notes because I think it's important. And actually, I love the little added detail of the accountability that you send it to Morgan. So new coaches watching this, I want you to share it in the new coach thread. At the end of the night, snap a photo and just say, Vital's done. And that's your call to action, because truly, that's it. Inviting, following up, personal development, vulnerable post, and recognition. And if you're like, well, I'm a new coach, who do I recognize? You can shout out anybody. You can shout out your clients. You can shout out other coaches on the team. You don't even have to really ever have talked to them. Just if they inspire you, go for it. You can shout out your husband. You can shout out your kids. Like, recognition can literally be anything, anybody. But what it does is it puts that positivity out there. It shows people that you truly do care about others. It's not all me, me, me. And it really starts to change your mindset to be like, oh, we need to focus on other people. We need to focus on their needs and their wants. And like Louise said, and that's 100% true, is the cutoff date is not July 16th for people to join Lift 4. I say to people all the time, coaches, clients, whatever their need is, meet their need. So just invite, say, hey, I have a private accountability group. I'd love to have you join it to help you reach your health and fitness goals. You don't need to have a date in there. They are going to start when you get them started. It doesn't matter if it's Monday. If I miss a Monday, I don't care. Like, that doesn't mean I'm that person that, oh, well, I'll start on a Tuesday. Like, that's just how I roll. So I want you guys to don't think you can't start something or can't do something, or don't have that analysis paralysis. Just take action. So Louise, I love that. Absolutely. So call to action is vitals. Do them every single day for the next month. You guys will watch your entire business transform, and it will literally blow up in front of your eyes, and you'll be, oh my gosh, like, it's wild.
Yeah, and one last thing, I promise, is that the reason I said do it for a month is because you can't do the vital behaviors for a week and then expect there to be a difference in your business or in yourself. Like, you have to do it for a period of time to see those results. It's just like a health and fitness journey. You can't do a workout for a week and then expect your life to change.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I love that. Louise, you're starting to remind me of myself more and more, how you have to cut yourself off. I'm done. Please, I have to mute myself at times. I'm like, I'm just going to go silent. Somebody else grab the mic. Thank you so much, Louise. I love that. Let's see. Tracy, are you ready to share?
Yep. Hopefully my connection's okay, guys. Sorry. So if I freeze, don't leave. Okay. So my biggest takeaway from Summit this year, because if you didn't know, because you weren't following any Summit info on our team page, I was very sick at Summit. But that didn't stop me from trying to push myself by still going to some of the hall sessions and seeing some of the speakers and whatnot. So I did get a lot from Summit, ironically, even though I was laid up for like a day and a half, which was incredible. And I still, going forward, will never miss a Summit. So Summit this year, its main theme was belief. And the big theme was that just believe in you. And I think it was Carl and probably some other speakers had mentioned, like, they kept hearing this common theme about belief being an issue with people, not believing in ourselves. And the very first thing when we got to Summit, we got to meet with our team, with Christy, and we got to hear some of our top coaches speaking on some topics. And one of them was limiting beliefs and fears. So I wanted to share 4 of the limiting beliefs that were shared with us, and then just make a couple little points on that limiting belief and how you can combat it. And hopefully this can help us, because I'm sure we all have felt one of these, if not all of them at some point. So the first one was feeling that we're not worthy of that coach title. And it's so not true. To be comfortable with where you're at in your journey, and don't be afraid to share your progression wherever that progression is in that moment. And sharing what all types of that health journey looks like. Some people have a struggle like, oh, well, I really can't share where I'm at because I don't have that huge weight loss to show. But it doesn't have to be about the weight loss. It could be the internal gain that you saw in yourself. for wherever you were at before that you gain now. That's really incredibly important. Sharing that we're a Beachbody coach. A lot of us have a problem sharing or feeling uncomfortable or icky about it. And really, it's about sharing what you do and why you're proud of it. That you should be sharing about why you feel like you're so proud to be a Beachbody coach and not feel like it should be icky, and keep speaking your mission. The third one was thinking that we don't have a story to share. And that one basically I found was about comparison, that awful comparison game. When you start comparing yourself to other people and in where other people are at in their journey, and the thing is that people are going to relate to the real you. So wherever you're at in your journey, they're going to relate to that. And that's what the important thing is to share. And the only person you should be comparing yourself is to who you were yesterday, not who the other person sitting next to you is or where they're at in their coach journey. And being able to share your truth and being authentic. 4 was feeling that we're not a leader. I can contest to this one. I mean, I can contest all of them, but that fear of feeling like you're not a leader is only going to hold you back from growing and recruiting others to join your tribe. So remembering that we have more to offer than what we think we do, leading by example, and being willing to learn, being coachable, holding ourselves accountable, and hold your integrity. So I just wanted to mention those 4 things. I hope that wasn't too overwhelming. Those were like 4.
What was number 2's like title?
Number 2 was sharing that you're a Beachbody coach.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. So basically, to recap, guys, because the main thing for myself is the comparison thing, and comparing myself to where other people are at in their journey as a coach. And I've come out of Summit reminding myself that I'm further than I was when I started, and that is a huge success. And to be consistent. So it's kind of like piggybacking on Louise's vital behaviors, but to remember myself that my vital behaviors, they're still the vital behaviors, but they might not look like Louise's vital behaviors and how she does them or how much she does them. But knowing that I'm doing my vital behaviors consistently every single day, that was important to me. Because if you start going, oh my God, like I didn't get 50 invites out, or I didn't get 100 invites out, or I got 10 invites, was more 10 invites than I got out yesterday or the day before. And being proud of myself in that, and not going, oh, well, I guess I suck. Because that's what I do. I implode inward. So I am being consistent, and that was what was important for me. So I guess my call to action was, I'm a little bit stuck on this one. So I want you guys to all reflect on what holds you back on those topics, how you can relate to those 4 points that I had mentioned on limiting beliefs. But I also wanted to point out, major thing was, what is everyone doing for PD? Because that is huge. It's one of our vitals, yes, but it's one thing to say it. It's another thing to be doing it. So I want everyone to at least put down what they're doing for personal development. So reflect on what your limiting beliefs are. If they're all 4 of those, what is exactly it that holds you back? And then what are you doing to combat it? And what personal development are you doing? That's what I've got. Sorry if I rambled.
No, that's awesome. That's like perfect, because I feel like we all struggle with that at different times. And I feel like, whether you're a new coach or a seasoned coach or whatever, it will hit you when you least expect it. You have your momentum going, you're feeling fabulous, and then your kid will get sick, and then a couple days will go by, and then you'll see someone else get Success Club points or signed up a coach and you didn't, and then all of a sudden you're not good enough to do this. And that is not true. That is absolutely not true. The only person saying that you're not good enough is you, and you are holding yourself back. So I absolutely love all those. Actually, I'm going to send all the notes right there. I'm so weird. I cannot comprehend things or pay attention unless I type stuff down.
I love that. Thank you.
I'm like, you're like a little nutbag. And it's really funny that you say that, is because I started reading again is Unlock Your Dreams. Simply because I forgot or You're a Badass at Making Money. So I started reading this book again over the last week when I was gone. And it's written by a pastor. It's kind of scripture based, but it's not like in your face and frustrating, and like it's not just someone preaching at you. It literally teaches you, gives you like tools on dream locks, like limiting beliefs, what's holding you back. It gives you scripture to go with it, and then it gives you dream lock, a dream key, so how to unlock it, and then scripture key on what it relates to. And it's really cool because literally he is a pastor and he gets really like uncomfortable saying, I'm a pastor. So we get uncomfortable. It took me years to say I say I'm a health and fitness coach. I'm like, why the heck don't I own it? The author is Philip Wagner. It looks like this. You can get it off Amazon. Mine is all beat up. Like, I freaking adore this book. I adore it. And so it's funny because we plug in, it says right here, we plug into social media and we only see the highlight reel of everyone else's life. So when we're seeing people achieving Success Club 86 or signing up 14 to 35 coaches, that automatically, if you let it, and if you're not doing personal development, and if you're sinking into those limiting beliefs, that will shut you down every single time one of those recognition posts go up. Because you're like, well, I'm over here doing the best that I can this month, and it's still not good enough. Who is it not good enough for? Who is this imaginary person that's judging you? You're the only person judging you, and we're all on this journey together, but we're all also on our own path. And so it was actually really cool. I want to find, it might take me a minute to find this, so I might even have, if Susan's ready. He said, basically, he like shrinks down when he's a pastor. He says, oh, I'm just a pastor. That's it. And then he says, this other pastor talks about the way that someone asked him what his job is. And he's like, oh, we run orphanages. We have charities. We do all these things. He's like, yeah, because he's like, oh, this woman was like, what do you exactly do? I'm the CEO of a company. And he goes, oh, well, I am the CEO of this incredible business. And he goes on to say all the things that the church does. But then at the end, she goes, well, wow, like, what do you do? Because you have orphanages, you have universities, you have all this stuff. And he goes, oh, I'm part of a church. Have you heard of it? And it was just so huge how he took ownership of it, of like, I am part of this. This is me. This is all of me. And he put it out there versus when someone asks us, what do you do? And you just shrink. I'm a Beachbody coach. Because God forbid they're a personal trainer and they know more than you. Look, I have no desire to be a personal trainer. I get asked that all the time. So when you look at those limiting beliefs, look at not only what it's doing to you and it's holding back to you, look what it's doing when you're not sharing that belief with other people. It's holding them back from taking that chance. It's holding them back from, you know what, even like stepping outside of their comfort zone. I would have never signed up to be a coach if someone didn't ask me to be a coach. Never. It sounded ridiculous. I was like, this sounds like a scam if I ever heard one. And so ask those tough questions. And that's why I say ask the tough questions. At the end of every message you send, ask a question. Are you ready? Can you commit to this? Is this too much for you? Ask a question so that you can connect with them and they feel like they can talk to you. Okay. Susan, I see your beautiful face. Are you good with the boys in bed and everything?
Hold on.
Yes, you're unmuted.
Okay, perfect. No, actually, Jacob's here right now because this fireworks going on and he's not loving that. So I'm not going to talk too long.
Okay.
He wants to know when to do fireworks at all. But I want to talk just briefly on two things. One, we're talking about belief, and I think what it comes down to is if you're a new coach or if you're a coach for a while and you don't know enough about what this company's mission, what their vision is and their products are, you're going to have a lot harder time standing behind the Beachbody Coach name. So listen, when you hear Carl speak, you just get so empowered, like, oh my gosh, I'm so proud to be part of this company and what their mission is, what their vision is for the future. And then use and know the products. You can stand behind them, know what's in the performance line, know why you stand proud as a Beachbody coach. Like, I 100% believe in all those things. The one thing that's always kind of missing is the belief in yourself. So make sure you know the mission and the vision and the products, and then fill in the belief with yourself. But do due diligence, watch little YouTube videos or whatever on all this stuff. And Carl is so inspiring. So that's my one note on belief. The second note, which is pretty simple, was Kim Carver from the corporate office came and spoke at the last few minutes of a meeting. And he said something that just stuck with me visually. And it was, take your hand off the ripcord of your parachute. And basically, your parachute is your way out of coaching. You're holding like this, and you're like, any second now, I'm in, I'm out. And he's like, take your hand off the ripcord. And I love that visual of having this parachute and thinking, because we've all been there, like, I'm kind of in, well, I'm kind of out, I don't know. And so take your hand off it and put two hands on the wheel of your business. And don't even say 1 year from now. For me, I had to say 4 years from now, I'm going to still be here, because that's more relaxing. You don't have to be like this with your exit strategy every single second, because I'm 50 years old and I've been married for 30 years or something. And just like marriage, business is going to go up and down like a roller coaster. And when you're down in a marriage, you're like, why the fuck did I marry this person? And then when you're up, you're like, oh my God, I love him so much, right? And so that's kind of how the business is. It goes up and down, and you just have to remember when it's down, it will go back up again, and you just have to ride it. So that was something he said. The parachute thing, that stuck with me. And the last thing was, he said, which was funny, he said, notebooks, ... where inspiration goes to die, or something like that. Like, you can put so much in your notebook, but if you don't take action on it, it doesn't really matter. So whatever you take from tonight, Louise and I, when we were in the summit meetings, we took 3 things from each speaker and put them down the bottom to do, because tonight we're giving you a lot of things. And so don't think you have to take action on them all, but maybe pick 3 and say, this is what spoke to me, and this is what I'm going to do. So those are my notes. And by the way, Summit was amazing. I thought I would be overwhelmed, and I wasn't. I came back feeling good. And when you get there and you're with that many people in a huge auditorium, all those people wanting the same hopes and dreams that you have for yourself, and that you're changing lives. I would say, if you're feeling uninspired, to go watch some of the Beachbody transformations, like the winners, and see their stories, and you'll be like, how can I not share this gift with somebody? Look at how this changed these people's lives. So those are all my things.
Love it. Thank you so much, Susan. And I mean, that's something that the taking your hand off the ripcord, it's something I see all the time in new coaches. They're like, well, I had a bad month, I'm out. And it's like, okay, but you rocked it. But if you want to quit, you can quit. I mean, I'm not going to hold you here. But not only new coaches, guys, I've had coaches that have been in this for a year or two, and all of a sudden they had a hard few months, and they were like, oh, I'm over this. I'm not going to do this anymore. It's like, whoa. Since when did we ever sign up? You can't sign up. Like, I love the marriage analogy. That was friggin' awesome and so perfect. But parenting, same thing. It's like, you have really great days. You're like, you are the apple of my eye. I love you. And then other days you're like, oh my God, Satan took you over. And it's so bad. And it's so true. But you can't just jump out of it because you have a bad day. Look at coaching. Take coaching as seriously as you took everything else. And even when you signed up, you might have been like, oh, maybe it's just a side gig. But look at what it's done for the people that have stayed in it. The only difference is they have stayed in it longer. They have showed up longer. They have done the vitals longer. That is it. And that's what, there's no secret sauce. That is it. So I freaking love all of those takeaways. I'll share my notes too. I'll share this recording really quick. We have our getting started right call. Oh, sorry, Tracy. We have 3 minutes left. I just have
okay. I just want to say this really quick, because you reminded me of something, and I don't know who said it. So if Louise or Susan remembers, jump in and let me know and chime in. But a good point on that, and just to piggyback, someone mentioned how coaching cannot be something as we consider separate from our lives. It has to be a part of our lives. So a lot of the times we have our life, and then we have coaching, but the secret sauce is when it comes together, and it's that little spot where the two meet together. And that's where we need to be, is that it needs to be a part of our lives. It can't be separate from it, because it just doesn't work that way. Because then that's why you're always having to okay, now I'm coach, and now I'm in my own life here, and then it doesn't work that way. So I don't know if I'm saying that right, but if that makes sense.
No, it definitely does.
Good reminder, right?
Yep.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I'm going to go really, really fast because we have a lot of like housekeeping stuff that's going on. Our Getting Started Right call, it's like your new call with your upline coach, is Monday, July 9th at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay? So look in the event section. If you have not attended a GSR call, if you haven't had one with your upline, if you have new coaches and you don't know how to get them started right, make sure they're on this call because it's going to be awesome. So again, that is July 9th, Monday, 8:15 p.m. EST. Let's see. We already talked about Lift 4. Super Saturday. If you can't go to one, Louise is hosting. Susan is hosting. You guys are all hosting with us together. It's become like a great team thing. But it's going to be on a Zoom chat just like this. Details are in our event section. It's 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 1:30. We're going to do a workout. We're going to go over some stories. We have announcements from corporate. It's going to be awesome. We've never done something like this before because everyone's gone live. But just be there if you can. Okay, and then success partners. I'm going to put this in the new coach thread as well. If you do not have a success partner, our goal for the next week is to get all new coaches set up with someone who they can just connect with in their business. Success partners, because I'm going to get cut off, is just basically an accountability buddy for your business. Like Louise talked about, sending that stuff to Morgan, rather than just sending it to the new coach thread, have a buddy in this business. And guess what? You can have multiple success partners. I have like 8, but we're going to start with 1. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Send it to your upline. I have kids, I have dogs, I don't like kids, I don't like dogs, whatever it may be. These are my goals. And we'll try to we'll post on our leader pages and find you guys someone to match up with. Okay, I think that was it. Picture. I'm not fast enough. All right, real quick smile. And I didn't say cheese. We'll do one more because someone's always not looking. Do one more, cheese. Okay. Awesome. I got it. I love you girls. Thank you so much, you guys, for sharing, to Tracy, to Louise, to Susan, to Morgan. And thank you to the new coaches who hopped on, especially ones that joined like 3 days ago. Danielle. Very awesome. And Nikki with your crazy busy life. And Tracy who just joined, and Tiffany and Lauren. You guys are awesome. So, okay, I can breathe. I'll share the recording in a little bit, girls. Have a great night, everyone.
That was a really long minute.
It really was. It was great.